Roshini Rajkumar is an executive coach and crisis communication specialist, also a host here on WCCO. Real Talk with Roshini. Roshini's on the CenterPoint Energy Home Service Plus hotline. Roshini, we got ourselves a blame game right here. It's Mayor Frey versus Governor Walz.
And like you say, it's just another chapter in this whole thing. We were watching intently that last week of May as all of this played out. In fact, on the morning of May 29th, which was a Friday, in the wee hours, I was watching that live press conference and couldn't believe how much the governor attacked and came down hard on Mayor Frey. You know, there are a couple of things I want to point out, and I shared this on my show and when you've talked to me and others in the past closer to that date. It just kind of overstretches, really stretches the imagination to believe that the governor couldn't have brought in the National Guard on his own. Keep in mind, he is an actual member of it himself. He's served in the past. And it's also more believable to me to think that Chief Arredondo and the mayor requested that help. And now we're seeing some of that documentation. But you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know, even well before Wednesday of that week, that the National Guard might have been needed. So this new layer of blaming is definitely not where good leaders should be. Good leaders should be figuring out, how do we keep Minneapolis and the state safe? Just a few days ago, Cory, the 3rd District residents, the 3rd Precinct residents around that district received an email warning people that robberies, carjackings are up. If you are presented with a criminal or an attack, one of the bullet points, be prepared to give up your cell phone and purse and wallet. That's the advice now that leadership inside Minneapolis is giving to citizens. And as a resident of the city, I'm a little freaked out by that, Cory.
Well, and you should be. And this is just, I even going back here with the blame game, it never made sense to me that, oh, wait, Minneapolis, the city of Minneapolis didn't do anything. They just didn't even think about it. Oh, we can handle this ourselves. And so for it to come out now where it's like, hey, we were asking, I mean, this is a failure on both sides then. I mean, it's somewhere in between where there was either a miscommunication or they didn't know, like, okay, the severity of it, which, by the way, I think everybody knew that this could be something. Tuesday morning at 5 a.m., I got an email. Oh, my God, did you see the video? This is going to be Eric Garner 2.0. This is absolutely despicable and horrible, and get prepared for this. And this is me on Tuesday morning. I imagine these leaders were up to date on things.
Oh my gosh, Cory, it defies logic that information wasn't flowing. First off, the governor, the mayor, and others in Minneapolis PD have their own Twitter accounts. You know, at any point, the mayor could have been tweeting on the hour, every hour, Governor, we need the National Guard. Governor, we need the National Guard. And the governor could have been tweeting things at us. So it really defies logic that anyone was waiting for anyone else. Because any one of those people could have acted, Cory. And then when you have John Harrington, a former police chief himself, leading public safety for the state, he absolutely could have been behind the scenes saying, yeah, let's get the National Guard out there. So a lot of this really defies logic. And I don't like the shifting. I mean, when you're judging good leadership, you were just talking about Coach Fleck. When you're judging good leadership, there are some really basic tenets that I think we all know. And if it doesn't pass the smell test, as they taught us in law school, it's probably pretty darn fishy.
Yeah. Yeah, and I remember Tuesday night it rained, and so people kind of cleared out. They actually got an extra day where they could have prepared. It's just, it never should have happened. This shouldn't have happened either, Roshini. I cannot imagine the judge in this Derek Chauvin case now having to deal with this, the body camera getting leaked. I mean, I don't know how you track this, because I would imagine they have a list of people who went in and saw this, but the body camera video getting leaked and the Daily Mail saying, yeah, they leaked it to us. They had to buy this thing.
Yeah, it really is pretty interesting to think. Well, first of all, the Daily Mail, of all places to get it, I do buy that they somehow got it. And I absolutely accept that it was probably purchased. This does put the entire justice system into a precarious situation. However, some of that video, I mean, we've seen various angles from, the shop perspective, the Facebook video, now various layers of this body cam video from the officers. So I think as a public, we just have to wait and see how this plays out. Obviously, we each judge it in different ways, but there are always multiple angles to every situation. And all of us can agree what happened with the knee and Derek Chauvin, terrible, should never have happened. But we do have 3 other officers here who have separate cases and separate attorneys. So the video will play into their cases for sure.
Yeah, she's Roshini Rajkumar, an executive coach, crisis communication specialist, also a terrific host here at WCCO Real Talk with Roshini. Have you been following this TikTok thing and, Microsoft potentially trying to buy TikTok, the president trying to ban TikTok? There's a lot going on here with TikTok.
There's so much going on. And in fact, there are headlines every day when I get my Wall Street Journal at our doorstep. And the first time I was seeing these headlines, I was almost stunned. Like I had to reread it and really dig into the article because it surprised me that a United States president would be getting involved in some kind of international and any kind of international business dealing. And that is what's very surprising. It's being called unprecedented if actually the way Donald Trump has been portrayed in this, if what he wants or how it's been portrayed what he wants actually plays out, it doesn't really make any sense. But we're also seeing that Microsoft is saying, they'll get something done by September 15th, which is the date President Trump is saying he wants things done. So this is very unusual, Cory. It makes no sense to me. It's really not a place for the President of the United States to be. So we've got to ask, what's the story behind the story here?
Yeah, well, let me ask you, and I don't even know legally, can he even ban a company like that in America? Can you do that?
Well, I don't know every layer of international law that's out there. It really doesn't seem like he could. I mean, you have to bring in, monopolistic, monopoly laws, antitrust laws. There's so many different laws. The situation, though, is the president is really trying to focus us on the possible espionage angle of this. And that would be really, in my mind, the only way he'd have any kind of legal standing. But even that could be very far-fetched because you could put that on almost any company that has international dealings. And we are such a global world right now that I don't know that that's the strongest thread for him anyway.
Yeah. Roshini, great talk. Thank you for taking time today, and thanks for catching up.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a great day, Cory.
You too. Roshini Rajkumar there.